Hi everyone. It has been a while. I think it's been since Father's Day, maybe, in June when I last recorded a YouTube video. So my apologies for that. I've missed you guys. I've just been working insane hours and unfortunately had very little time to put into videos. I would encourage you though, if you don't already follow me on Instagram or Facebook, to check out that information below, because I do frequently post videos there that embed within those apps, and then they don't end up coming over onto YouTube. So there are some videos I have recorded since then over there, so you may want to check that out. Now, what I have been working on in what little free time I have is another Oracle deck, and I think I am the most excited about this one. I honestly have no idea where the idea came from, but the download happened, and it was just like, all right, you're doing this. And it consumed me in a good way, and it was so much fun. And I feel like it just really flowed. I think I completed this one within a week of concept and just finding images, and it just went so fast. So I want to offer this walkthrough for you guys. First of all, I'm going to explain the purpose of this deck and how it can be used. So I had a post about it on social media, and I kind of feel like I probably wouldn't say it as eloquently as if I just read it here, because I had kind of all the key points that I wanted to hit. But the Fire Sign Vibes Oracle deck is designed to help you better understand yourself, your partner, and your clients with fire sign aspects in their chart. So it offers 44 total cards with keywords and imagery associated with typical personality traits and shadows of fire signs, which are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, one natal chart key card for each sign, and one tarot card key card for each sign. There are also 2 specific shadow cards for each sign, so we'll get to those here in a moment when I do the walkthrough. So the natal chart key card for each sign is your astrological sign. So it could be your sun sign. Typically people always think of, because me, I'm a Sagittarius, right? But I have a lot of other aspects in my chart. I have a lot of earth in my chart. So those are things that you want to look up in your natal chart. If you get a natal chart key card, you want to say, hey, what's going on? Or this person, if you're asking about a person, right? This is something that's like, you're going to want to look deeper into their chart. You may want to look at like a relationship compatibility chart between you and this person, and kind of dig deeper and see maybe why you're having certain issues in your relationship, or prior to getting into a relationship, right? In the early stages, you may want to say, hey, what's going on? What's this person? What would it be like? So if you get that natal chart key card, that's what that's saying to you. If you get the tarot card key chart if you get that one, you're going to want to look at the specific tarot card, archetype, right? There's a personality trait. There are typically, when you get that card in a tarot reading, it's going to have certain aspects to it that apply. And I think all of these are going to end up being Major Arcana. So this is like the strong energy of like, this is what's going on, right? And so I'll explain that when I get to those cards, but you're going to want to look more deeply into that from a tarot standpoint, and dig a little bit deeper. So hopefully that makes sense. And as you will see, the tarot card keys, they have some keywords on them, but they actually tie back to the images that are in my Sacred Union Tarot deck, which is also for sale. The Fire Sign Vibes Oracle deck is going to be about $40. The base cost of the company that I use, they raise their prices without warning, so sometimes that automatically generates an increase in my selling price. But as of right now, the intention is that it will sell for about $40. I do have a few on hand that I can sell now. It's actually pending approval on the website, which is never an issue. Excuse me, but it's just a process they go through. They want to make sure they're not authorizing the sale of some horrific thing that is out there that shouldn't be. So just a typical process. But if you're interested in purchasing it, $40, plus tax, if applicable. And then if you're in the United States, I would just do like a $5 shipping charge. It probably would be more than that, but I would eat the rest of that cost just as like an introductory kind of special for you guys. So anyway, I hope you like this, and we're gonna go with it. And I've got my fire like energy going on. I had to wear like the red stuff here because I was feeling that vibe. So first of all, we're gonna go with the shadow cards. Let's see what we get here. Actually, sorry, I forgot to pull a couple of them out, so that's not helping. Forgive me. My brain has been a little bit all over the place lately. Just too much enamored in work, unfortunately, deeply. But it feels good to be back on here. I actually had a session with a client today. Fabulous. Just feels really good to be back. All right, guys, thanks for putting up with me. This might be like the the flighty Sag energy in me, right? Where it's like, what's going on? So you guys can see the image here. This again these are the specific shadow cards. There's 2 for each zodiac sign. So Sagittarius has flighty. They're this like floaty little thing, kind of flighty, right? Sag also has open to a fault. Oversharer, that one sounded a little bit weird to say it that way, but Sagittarians, like myself sometimes, you guys know, you tend to like just bare your soul, bare your heart, just you overshare, right? So if you get this type of a card, if you're doing it for yourself, if you're a fire sign, you pull that, it's like, okay, maybe that's something that I'm being called to work on within myself, right? Aries, you are temperamental and competitive. And as you guys will see, predominantly I try to have fire or kind of a fiery aspect, like red here, in all of the card images. Some of them, the tarot cards, obviously, some of the natal chart ones, it just wasn't feasible to find images that worked. But for the most part, you're going to get, the vibe as fire, and you're going to see that in these images. So self-centered, Leo, it's like, it's all about me, right? And attention-seeking. So you can see, it's kind of hard to see this image, but this guy is actually breathing fire, like, out. He's like, look at me, right? All right. So that's those. Then we've got the tarot card key. So we've got Temperance for Sagittarius. And so what this has on it, it has the actual, this is obviously the tarot card. Temperance is the tarot card associated with Sagittarius. It says Sagittarius on it. It says tarot card key. It gives you the number, just in case the numerology is meaningful for you in any way. And then it also gives a couple of keywords about what this could be about. Self-restraint and moderation. So this might be something where it's like, I'm holding myself back, or I like, about having more patience. And so if you pulled this card, you would want to look more and deeper into the meaning of the Temperance card and how that plays out in the tarot. Strength is Leo, so it is number 8. Some decks, you'll see it as 11. But, I've always just associated it with number 8, as you guys, Lionsgate, 8/8 portal, August. To me, Leo season, it's 8, it fits. But confident and strong, that's the strength card. The Emperor is associated with Aries, and so this, again, is the image from my Sacred Union Tarot. For Emperor, tarot card key 4, awakened and powerful. Now, keep in mind, the traditional meaning of the Emperor wouldn't necessarily be awakened, right? Powerful, leader, masculine energy, that type of thing, yes. But because it's tied back to my Sacred Union Tarot deck, my Sacred Union Tarot deck has some different meanings attributed to the different cards. And so for me, it was awakened. You want the divine masculine and the sacred union journey to get to this emperor point, right? But so if you got this one again, you would want to look up and see what does the emperor mean? What aspects of that archetype would you maybe need to work on with yourself, or what might be going on with a person that you're dealing with? Okay. So next we have a natal chart key for each of the signs. So Aries is the ram, and it says natal chart key on it, and then it has the dates, which I know sometimes with leap year or things like that, I think the dates can change, but traditionally, you know what the dates, range is going to be. March 21st to April 19th is the ram, and that is like the, this, if you got the natal chart card again, you want to look deeper into aspects of the natal chart, maybe do a comparison with another person and see what's going on within the overall scheme of things. The Archer is Sagittarius, November 22nd to December 21st. This one I was able to get fire in it, and he's actually shooting a bow and arrow, so I thought that was pretty fun. The Lion is Leo, and as we just said, it's Leo season now, so July 23rd to August 22nd is typically associated with that. All right, so now, without further ado, we're just going to do a run through. These are the rest of the cards. So again, those were the ones that had specific aspects that were very much more towards one specific sign, one certain sign. These tend to be attributable to at least two of the signs. Some may not be as obvious, or some of them might not. They might only apply to like Sagittarius and Aries, but not Leo. But again, it's just typically you're going to get this in amongst that energy, that fiery energy, right? So we've got adventurous, and you'll see, guys, because fire signs are they're pretty intense. That's one of the cards. Wild, crazy, all those things. Some of these images are a little risque, so just be warned about that. They have some innuendo in them. Adventurous, you can guess possibly what's going on in that tent. Maybe not. Maybe they're just chilling. But I thought that was fun. And then we've got big spender. They're just burning through that money, right? Blunt. Although there's no fire in this one, she's definitely got some fire energy in that hair too, right? Burning bridges. It's like, you know what? I am once I'm done with this, I'm done. I'm done, and there's no looking back, right? Compassionate. Fire signs do, even though they have some kind of intense energy at times, they have very warm, compassionate energy about them. Energy and fire signs can tend to be, in some, more than others, expressive of their love. So that's where this is like warmth. Warmth was one of the cards that I thought about using, and then I was like, well, it's very much, I could just evoke that image with compassionate. So compassionate, warm, confident. Confident is definitely a fire sign vibe, right? At least that's where you want to be. And see, so that's how you can use this deck too. So if you're using it as kind of like, how am I not in my true essence? Because what I've kind of, started to figure out right within myself is I never truly felt like a real Sagittarius. I was like, I don't identify with this sign. I don't really know, when I was younger, because Sagittarians, they like to travel, do all these things, right? And I never wanted to leave the house. I was scared to go anywhere. I didn't have confidence, right? Those were aspects of myself that were out of balance. Those were inherent personality, astrological traits that, are part of my very being because of the time I was born and the day I was born, and, all those things that's what the natal chart, looks at. And that's, again, you have those specific cards to look at those. But, if you're pulling this and you get confident, it's like, okay, maybe Spirit's telling you need to work on your confidence. This is an aspect where you're out of balance with your true essence and who you really are. And here, if you get this card, it's like, either the person you're dealing with or you might need to rein it in a little bit, right? We've got crazy. They're lighting up, so they're about to go do something You know, something's about to go down. I thought that was a fun card. Creative. I love this one because it almost, I mean, I think it's like almost like a sparkler firework, but it looks to me like almost like a paintbrush with sparks coming off. So I just loved that one. Dramatic. This is a fun one, right? She's got the cigarette and the burning like alcohol, and the look on her face is like, oh, it's about to go down. Dynamic. Dynamic is another fun one. And this one's actually got, it looks like a group of people. Like they're almost, it's almost like they're opening a champagne bottle or something, but there's also sparks there. So there's just a lot happening. They're just really like captivating, right? That could be another synonym for this. Easygoing. You know, even though fire signs can be intense and crazy and wild and all those things, at least, you know, and maybe, I don't know, maybe that's the earth aspect that I have it within me, but I always feel like I'm kind of just like, yeah, there's these sparks of things up here, but I'm really just kind of cool, like kind of like whatever. I'm not gonna like, you know, now that might go against somewhat of like Aries, you know, being temperamental and competitive and those kind of things. So maybe this is more of a Sag vibe, but I think for the most part, like, I don't know, fire signs are not going to be nitpicky and like some of the earth and air signs are. But see what you think. All right, extrovert. I love this one because she's like obviously in front of a crowd. People are taking pictures of her, and she's like twirling like fire batons. So I thought, well, how perfect is that? Fire signs are definitely extroverts. Fierce. We're definitely fierce. And sometimes it's like that attitude. It's like, no, like, I'm not going to take any BS. I'm strong. This is like another level above confident, right? This is like just, I'm a force to be reckoned with. We got free spirit. Love, love, love this one. Big time Sag energy, right? Fun. There's a concert. Looks like a concert and maybe watching some fireworks too. I don't know. Might be a combination. But whatever they are, they're out and they're living it up. Humorous, definitely. Sagittarians tend to, and well, I think all fire signs, but they tend to try to, you know, they'll sometimes make jokes about things instead of like if they've expressed their feelings, then it's like, oh, I'm going to make a joke about it, right? So there's that aspect. So this could be a shadow, or it could be something that you need to work on, is to lighten up a little bit and have some fun. Impatient. I love this one because she's blowing smoke and she doesn't look happy about it. She's like, I'm ready to blow that fire. I'm ready to, but it's not happening yet. So you got to work on that patience. And especially, you know, if you were to pull this card and pull the Temperance card, that would be a strong indication that you have some impulse things to work on. Impulsive, well, how funny. That's like the next card, right? Like, just like, I'm just gonna just go off. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna think things through. I'm just gonna like launch. I'm just gonna go, right? There's not a lot of planning. There's not a lot of, it's just like, I'm just going. Inspiring. I love this one. Creative, you know, is kind of similar, but this is more like you are shining your light, your passion, and you're like, you know, inspiring others to do the same or to follow your lead, if that makes sense. We've also got intense. Love this one because she's like weaving fire all around her. We got leader. Fire signs, again, that goes back to like the inspiring energy. They're definitely leaders. And again, you know, if you got this one and got the Emperor, there's definitely some messages about leadership there for sure. Mischievous, this is a fun one. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they look like they're definitely up to something. Motivated. So this is like the forward momentum, and he's on fire. So I thought that was an amazing image. This could be, you know, it's something that if you get this, again, it's something that, an aspect of yourself that you need to work on, like Spirit saying, hey, you need to be more motivated and driven. Another one, non-committal. Sometimes fire signs, especially, I mean, this one could be like Sag, but sometimes like that fire's burning in there, but their heart's kind of on lockdown. I wasn't able to get it fully on the card, but there is like a lock, like it's almost like in a furnace kind of situation. So they're just kind of like got steel covering their heart, right? So that's for some, not all. Some then, are open to a fault. So it just depends on the person you're dealing with. And there's so many complex things that go into this. Whether, they have other, lots of air in their chart, might be a factor of it to weigh in. So what I'm ultimately envisioning happening, right, is when I create these other decks. So the water signs deck is next. It's almost done. So, then I'll have earth and air. You could even, combine the two and shuffle. And like, once you know somebody's aspects, like if you know that they're, they've got like, they're a Sag and then they've got like a Cancer moon and a Pisces rising or something like that, you could combine the fire water signs deck and like get deeper into like knowing what's going on with them. So I think that could be a really useful tool if you're working on, especially if you're advising people like on relationships. That's something that I ultimately want to do. Getting deeper into knowing like, why does somebody communicate the way they do? Why do they react the way they do? These cards can help with that. So fire signs a lot of times are optimistic, which is a fun one. Party animals. Oh yeah. We love to have fun, don't we? And that goes with the extroverted energy, I guess. And then we've got passionate. Oh yeah, definitely passionate. And some of us, I mean, I'm not one of them, but some of the Saggies, some of all the fire signs, they're player. Like she's got two different guys, and there she's like, well, which one am I going to choose today? Or maybe both. I don't know. Spontaneous, definitely spontaneous. And I feel like, impulsive and spontaneous were the two that were like, kind of like I debated. I was like, well, these are kind of similar, but I feel like spontaneous is more like in the moment, like fun, like you're going to do lighthearted, silly, just playful type of things, like how she jumps in his lap or what, jumps on him or whatever. Impulsive is more like intense energy behind it, if that makes sense. It's more like I'm just going to do something rash and not think it through, and it might be a big decision, right? Like launching a rocket is kind of a big decision, versus spontaneous, it's like living in the moment type of energy, if that makes sense. Okay. Tenacious. Love this one. Definitely fire signs are tenacious, like warrior energy, warrior vibes. Traveler. Oh, I just love this. I love the sunset. I love the water and the fire there, of course. So the last one is wild. She's like acting like she's gonna lick the match, and then that one's like there's flames, like wild, crazy. I mean, those are kind of interchangeable, but the crazy was a little bit a higher level of intensity, right? And so certainly, as with any deck, as with any divination tool you're using, however the messages come through to you, you might see an image of this, like with the smoke, and it evokes something else to you, and you're like, oh, that reminds me of whatever, and you get the channeled message and you convey that. So these are just guidelines to give you an idea of my creative process and what I was thinking when I made this deck, when I created the deck, and how I intend to use it. But how I intend to use it might be totally different from how you do, and that's okay, because that's the beautiful thing about our spiritual gifts and channeling and our intuition, is that there's no right or wrong about it. You do whatever feels right to you, and again, these are just guidelines. So if you are interested in this deck and you find a different way that it calls to you, then I would love that. And so I hope that this resonates for you. I hope that if you have questions or comments about it, feel free to post below. And I would love to hear your feedback. And I'm just really excited. I'm hoping maybe at some point, we'll see, to get back into recording the the element energy updates again, how I used to do fire signs, water signs, all of that. So once I have these decks, I think that would be a great tool to tap into that energy for you guys. So I would love to hear it, and stay tuned, because I am about to record a Lionsgate energy update on here, so watch for that, and also watch my social media for the links for when this will actually be available on sale. So thanks so much for your support, guys. Until next time, take care.